Every choice you make is a vote for who you become. That's not just a motivational line. It's the truth that shapes every single part of your life. You might not realize it right now, but the small things you do when nobody's watching, the little decisions you think don't matter, they're literally carving out the person you're turning into. Every choice is casting a silent vote toward your future identity. And if you're not consciously voting for the person you want to be, then by default, you're voting for the person you're trying to escape from. Most people live like their decisions are isolated moments, like what they do today somehow doesn't affect tomorrow. They'll say things like, "I'll start working out next week," or "I'll save money when I'm making more." But that's not how it works. Life compounds. Every lazy decision compounds laziness. Every excuse compounds weakness. Every act of discipline compounds strength. You are literally training your mind and your body every single day through repetition. And the scary thing, it's automatic. You don't get to turn it off. Whether you like it or not, your habits are casting votes. So if you want a different life, you have to start voting differently. You want confidence, you can't fake it. You build it, and you build it every time you do something hard when you don't feel like it. That one time you wake up early when your bed feels too comfortable, you just cast a vote for a stronger, more disciplined version of yourself. When you choose to say no to another night of mindless scrolling, that's another vote for focus. When you decide to study instead of going out, that's another vote for the person who takes their goals seriously. You don't transform your life in one big moment of motivation. You transform it through 1,000 small choices that no one claps for, no one sees, and no one rewards, until eventually the results speak so loudly that they can't be ignored. The problem is, most people want the results but not the repetition. They want to be successful, but they're voting every day for comfort. They want a six-figure business, but they're voting for distraction. They want to be respected, but they're voting for inconsistency. You can't cheat that. You can't vote for average and expect to win like the elite. Life is brutally fair in that way. It gives you exactly what you've earned through your actions, not what you've wished for in your mind. And here's the part that hurts. The votes you cast today don't just disappear. They stick. Every time you choose to procrastinate, you make it easier to procrastinate tomorrow. You're building that muscle, training that pattern, solidifying that identity. And the same goes for discipline. It gets easier each time you choose it. It's like momentum. Once you start voting for the right version of yourself, it becomes addictive. You start feeling proud of yourself again. You start to look in the mirror and actually respect the person staring back. That feeling, that's rare. Most people never experience it because they're too busy lying to themselves. They'll say things like, "I'm just tired today. It doesn't matter if I skip this one time. I'll do it later." But you need to understand, your future self doesn't care about your excuses. They only care about your consistency. Imagine if your future self could actually watch you right now, like on a screen. They'd see every time you said you were going to change but didn't. They'd see the potential you're wasting. They'd see the time slipping through your fingers while you scroll through other people's lives. How do you think that version of you would feel watching this? Would they be proud, or would they feel embarrassed, angry, disappointed? Because here's the truth. The future you already exists. They're waiting. And the only way to meet them is through the votes you're casting today. If you want to be the person who's successful, confident, and free, then start voting for them now. That means acting like them now. You don't get to wait until you have the money or the status. You earn those things by embodying the mindset and habits that lead to them. Think about it like this. Every decision is a fork in the road. One path leads closer to your potential, the other to regret. You might not feel the difference in the moment, but over time, the distance becomes massive. That's how people wake up one day and realize they're stuck in a life they never wanted. It didn't happen all at once. It happened through small compromises, skipped workouts, missed opportunities, ignored goals. A lifetime of tomorrows that never came, so you need to start treating your choices like they matter, because they do. When you're tempted to take the easy way out, remember that ease now equals pain later. When you're tempted to give up, remember that every time you push through, you're proving something to yourself. And that's what matters most, not proving it to others, but proving it to you. Because when you know you can trust yourself to follow through, that's when your life starts to shift. That's when confidence becomes unshakable. And I'll be honest, it's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's repetitive, it's hard, and it's boring, but it's real. And if you can learn to fall in love with those small, disciplined choices, the ones that no one sees, you'll start to win in silence before you ever win in public. So next time you're standing in front of a decision, no matter how small it seems, pause and ask yourself, what kind of vote am I casting right now? Because every choice, every action, every moment, it's all shaping you. You're either becoming the person you admire or the one you avoid becoming, and the scariest part, you're the one deciding. Your future self is counting on you. They're hoping you'll choose differently this time. They're hoping you'll stop running from discomfort and start showing up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not luck, it's not motivation, it's not timing, it's votes. Every choice is a vote for who you become. So start voting like your life depends on it, because it does. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. It sounds simple, maybe even cliché, but it's one of those truths that hits harder the older you get. The more you live, the more you realize that everything amazing, everything extraordinary, everything that makes life worth living, comes from stepping into discomfort. Yet most people spend their entire lives running from it. They chase comfort like it's the goal, like it's the reward. They build their days around staying safe, avoiding pain, and protecting their ego, and then they wonder why they never grow, why their life feels small, predictable, and empty. Here's the truth: comfort feels good right now, but it destroys you slowly. It's quiet. It doesn't announce itself like failure or heartbreak. It just numbs you little by little until you wake up one day and realize you're existing, not living. Comfort is a trap dressed as happiness. It convinces you that staying still is safer than moving forward. But what's safe about being stuck? What's safe about looking back 10 years from now and realizing you wasted your potential because you didn't want to feel uncomfortable for a little while? Greatness only exists on the other side of struggle. You can't build anything strong without resistance. You can't build a strong body without pain. You can't build a strong mind without challenge. You can't build a strong character without failure. The people you admire didn't get there because they were comfortable. They got there because they were willing to do what others wouldn't. They were willing to be uncomfortable every single day. Think about it. Every time you avoid something hard, you're choosing comfort over growth. You skip the workout because you're tired. You avoid the tough conversation because you don't want confrontation. You don't start the business because you're scared of failing. You say, "I'll do it later," because the idea of facing your weaknesses makes you uncomfortable. But that's exactly where your life could change, if you just step into that discomfort instead of running from it. The problem is that comfort feels good in the short term, but costs you everything in the long term. It gives you temporary relief and lifelong regret. Discomfort, on the other hand, costs you now, but pays you forever. The pain of growth is temporary, the pain of comfort is permanent. That's why most people live mediocre lives. They don't choose to be average. They just keep choosing what's easy until average is all that's left. When you avoid discomfort, you rob yourself of strength. You never learn what you're capable of because you never give yourself the chance to find out. You settle for the known instead of risking the unknown. You pick predictable boredom over unpredictable greatness, and the worst part, comfort tricks you into thinking you're okay. It whispers you're doing fine, even when deep down you know you're not. It gives you false peace while quietly killing your potential. Look around. Comfort is everywhere. Your phone is designed to make you comfortable. Social media feeds you validation and distraction. Food, entertainment, technology, all of it is built to keep you satisfied enough to stop chasing more. And the scary part is, it works. It keeps you docile. It keeps you quiet. It keeps you mediocre. Because the moment you start getting uncomfortable, the moment you start thinking bigger, the world around you starts to resist. People call you obsessed. They say you're working too hard. They don't understand that you're not chasing comfort. You're chasing freedom. You see, real freedom doesn't come from comfort. It comes from control. And you don't get control without discipline. You don't get discipline without discomfort. That's the formula most people avoid because it's not easy. It demands sacrifice. It demands sleepless nights, rejection, effort, patience. It demands you to do things when you don't feel like it. And that's exactly why so few people ever reach greatness. Because it's uncomfortable to keep showing up when no one notices. It's uncomfortable to fail and still keep going. It's uncomfortable to bet on yourself when everyone doubts you. But those are the exact moments that separate the winners from the talkers. The truth is, comfort is addictive. It's like a drug. The more you indulge in it, the weaker you get. The more you chase convenience, the more life pushes back against you. You stop fighting, you stop striving, and slowly, you lose the hunger that once made you dream big. You stop chasing progress and start chasing distractions. You trade your potential for a little bit of pleasure, and the scary thing, you think that's normal. Everyone around you is doing it too, so it doesn't feel wrong. But one day, when you look in the mirror and see that you've become someone you don't respect, that's when it hits you. Comfort cost you your greatness. The people who achieve something extraordinary, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, leaders, they're not superhuman. They just made peace with discomfort. They learned to see pain as feedback, not punishment. They trained themselves to do the hard things until they became normal. They didn't wait for motivation. They built systems. They showed up when it was boring. They kept moving forward when it hurt. That's what separates them. It's not talent, it's not luck. It's their relationship with discomfort. So if you want to grow, stop running from the things that make you uncomfortable. Lean into them. That's where the lessons are. That's where the transformation happens. The gym doesn't feel good, but that's how you grow stronger. Speaking your truth might be scary, but that's how you grow braver. Taking risks might fail, but that's how you learn faster. Every uncomfortable thing you avoid is a missed opportunity to evolve. Discomfort isn't your enemy, it's your compass. It points you toward the areas you need to grow in. If something scares you, there's usually a reason. It's showing you where your next level lies, so stop asking for an easy life. Easy doesn't make you proud. Easy doesn't build character. Easy doesn't make you strong. Seek the challenge. Seek the grind. Seek the stretch that makes you question whether you can handle it, because that's where greatness is hiding. Comfort will give you a soft life and a weak soul. Discomfort will give you a hard life and an unshakable spirit. And that's the trade you have to decide on every single day. Do you want to feel good now, or do you want to feel proud later? Because you can't have both. You can't live in comfort and expect greatness. Greatness demands pain, it demands sacrifice, it demands the willingness to do what others won't. So next time you're tempted to take the easy path, remember this: comfort is the silent killer of potential. It's not the obstacles in your way that will destroy you, it's the excuses that keep you comfortable. Greatness isn't found in what feels good, it's found in what hurts, what scares you, and what forces you to grow. The question is, are you willing to get uncomfortable enough to find it? Build standards, not excuses. That one line can change your entire life if you truly understand it. Because most people are not limited by lack of talent, lack of opportunity, or bad luck. They're limited by their standards. They accept too little from themselves. They settle for average behavior and then act surprised when they get average results. They tell themselves stories, excuses, and justifications for why they're not where they want to be. But here's the truth. Your standards define your future. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. Everyone has goals. Everyone wants something. Success, freedom, happiness, money, respect. But goals are cheap. Anyone can write them down. What separates the people who achieve from the people who just talk about achieving is standards. Standards are the invisible rules you live by. They're the lines you refuse to cross and the minimum level of effort you demand from yourself. If your standards are weak, your life will be weak. If your standards are high, your life will rise to meet them. Excuses, on the other hand, are poison. They sound logical in the moment, but they eat away at your character. Every time you give yourself an excuse, you teach yourself that it's okay to be less than what you could be. You train your brain to settle. You reinforce weakness. Excuses might protect your ego for a few minutes, but they destroy your potential for years. They make you feel safe, but they keep you stuck. Building standards means you decide how you operate no matter what's happening around you. It's not about motivation or emotion. It's about identity. It's saying, this is who I am and this is how I move. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, do I feel like it today? Because your standards already answered that question. People with high standards don't wait for the right mood or the perfect timing. They act because that's what they do. Let's be real, excuses are easy. You can justify anything if you try hard enough. You can say, I'm tired, I'm busy, it's not fair, I'll start next week. You can make the world believe those lies, but deep down, you know the truth. You know when you're cheating yourself. You know when you're letting yourself off the hook, and that feeling, that quiet guilt that lives in your chest, is your reminder that you're living below your potential. That's your inner voice asking for higher standards. When you build standards, you stop giving that voice a reason to be disappointed. You start demanding more from yourself in every area. You don't skip workouts because you're tired. That's not who you are. You don't make promises you don't keep. That's not how you operate. You don't settle for half effort. that's beneath your standards. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect. You hold yourself accountable because you know no one else will do it for you. Standards create identity, and identity drives behavior. When you raise your standards, your behavior automatically begins to match. If your standard is excellence, you'll act like someone who chases excellence. If your standard is mediocrity, you'll act like someone who's okay with staying the same. You can't outrun your standards, they always catch up to you. The body you have, the money you make, the relationships you're in. They're all reflections of what you've been willing to tolerate. And here's something people don't like to hear. Excuses are often disguised as reasons. People say, I can't because of my job. I can't because I don't have time. I can't because I don't have the right connections. But there's always someone out there with fewer resources and more obstacles doing exactly what you're avoiding. So it's not about circumstances, it's about commitment. Excuses live in people who haven't decided. Standards live in people who have. When you have standards, you don't rely on discipline. You become discipline. You don't need motivation to wake up early, to work hard, to take care of your health. It's automatic. It's who you are. That's the difference between trying and becoming. Trying is fragile. It breaks when life gets tough. Becoming is unshakable because it's built into your identity. Think about a professional athlete. They don't wake up and debate whether to train. It's not even a question. Their standard demands it. They've set the bar so high that anything less feels wrong. The same applies to top entrepreneurs, artists, or leaders. They operate by rules that most people wouldn't even consider possible. That's why their results look impossible to everyone else. Their life isn't lucky. It's engineered by their standards. You can do the same. You just have to stop protecting your weaknesses with excuses. Stop explaining why you can't and start proving that you can. The moment you raise your standards, everything changes. Your thoughts, your habits, your energy. Life starts responding to you differently because you're showing up differently. People start respecting you more. Opportunities start appearing. You start trusting yourself again. That's the power of standards. They rebuild confidence from the inside out. But raising your standards doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily commitment. It's 1,000 small decisions that say, I'm done living below what I'm capable of. It's catching yourself when you start making excuses and replacing them with action. It's holding yourself to your word even when no one's watching. It's saying no to instant gratification and yes to long-term satisfaction. You'll have moments when you want to quit. You'll have days when excuses sound louder than your goals. That's when standards matter most. They're not there for when it's easy. They're there for when it's hard. They remind you who you said you wanted to be. They keep you steady when motivation disappears. And trust me, motivation will disappear. That's why you can't rely on it. Standards are stronger. They don't care how you feel. They care who you are. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop lowering your expectations just to feel comfortable. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be evolving. Every time you hold yourself to a higher standard, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more. And once you see that, you can't go back. You can't unsee your potential. At the end of the day, excuses will give you a story. Standards will give you a life. Excuses will make you feel safe. Standards will make you unstoppable. Excuses will make you blend in. Standards will make you stand out. You get to choose which one defines you. Build standards, not excuses. Because the moment you stop explaining your weakness and start enforcing your strength, you become dangerous. You become focused. You become someone your future self will thank. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards standards. So raise yours, live by them, and watch your entire life rise to match them.